No Straight Roads is one of the most refreshing games I've played in a very, very long time. It is a massively creative adventure with outstanding musical scores and exceptional boss fights. The issue is that the game is short for $40. However, the quality of the adventure mostly overshadows this with a rich and colorful musical world, where the soundtrack plays a vital role in both the story and gameplay. Much of the title focuses on basic platforming and combat, but the distinct visuals help No Straight Road stand out from the competition and establish its own footing as an incredible action-adventure game that you should definitely play. No Straight Road stars Mayday and Zook, close friends and band members of Bed Junction. The two decide to participate in the latest NSR tournament to bring back rock music to the city. In this world, music not only serves as a creative outlet and entertainment, but also as a power source. After the performance is deemed a failure, the leaders of Vinyl City, NSR, decide that rock music is outlawed and the only acceptable music is now EDM. After attempting to recover from such a bad day, Mayday and Zook find out that the performance was able to fill the arena's quasi-generator, which is where energy is stored within the city. Things get worse when the city undergoes another blackout, which is common in Vinyl City, and NSR only provides backup energy to the elite. Mayday and Zook decide that this is their chance to start a music revolution, to bring back rock and overthrow NSR. Mayday and Zook are terrific together and have such an incredible dynamic. Mayday is direct and aggressive, but a beacon of positive energy, whereas Zook is more calm and reasonable. The supporting cast has similar high-quality features, especially the bosses of this world. Each one has distinct personalities and arenas fashioned to match their style, whether it's a space-themed DJ or a classical child prodigy. The story isn't just one note, as elements of personal relationships, broken friendships, and paternal bonds are peppered within the game. I could say more about this, but I feel like it would spoil the game's more profound moments. But there are situations that offer a break from the intense action or the comedy writing for this citywide revolution. It helps humanize these characters as you see them and act more like people rather than just random enemies. These are well implemented, so they never felt out of place, but the game doesn't rely on these intense moments, instead focusing on an equal balance between comedy and seriousness. It's just such a great narrative that I found myself actually enjoying it from start to finish. And no moment felt out of place, which is great. I loved how they took the narrative structure of the story to ensure that there is an equal balance between comedy and seriousness. No Straight Roads is basically an action platformer with light RPG elements. You'll traverse the world of Vinyl City and hijack concerts to weaken NSR's hold on Vinyl City. Each concert, with the exception of the first one, has a series of platforming and combat challenges that you must complete before you face the boss of the area. These are simple affairs against mediocre enemies that really lack in variety. Thankfully, the visual presentation and atmosphere of these sections are bright and colorful, complementing the boss of the area. The boss encounters are the best part of No Straight Roads. Each one has been masterfully crafted with multiple phases and musical scores that amplify the entire encounter. Cinematics break up each phase, and they're paired well with these transitions. If you happen to fail, you can restart when you died at that exact moment, but this limits your ranking. After each fight, Mayday and Zook are rated based on their performance and gain fans based on their rank, fans serving as the game's experience system. Because of this, No Straight Roads isn't that challenging unless you decide to take on the harder options or if you care about the ranking system, which you will have to if you plan to get all the achievements or trophies. You can refight all boss encounters, cinematics included, with harder options available each time you beat the hardest difficulty. Each time you win, you'll unlock new collectibles such as musical tracks or new trophies to put into Mayday and Zook's hideaway. Mayday and Zook play distinctively, with Mayday being the heavy hitter of the group and Zook serving more of a support role but can still attack. You can shoot musical notes, but these are limited to specific enemies and encounters. because they're so very powerful. Parrying is available and becomes paramount during certain situations, with Zook or Mayday able to redirect attacks using parrying to cause major damage. There's also a specific boss challenge available for each of the boss fights where you must perform perfect parries. You can control each of the characters, and each one has their own health meter if you play single player. If you want, you can play the entire adventure cooperatively, but only locally. There's no online play. You can upgrade Mayday and Zook with temporary stickers for an added boost, or permanent mods that provide new skills. The mod attacks range from recovering health to increased damage attacks, each requiring a certain amount of charge. If you are fully charged with both Mayday and Zook, you can perform an ultimate attack, but it's not really necessary on the standard difficulty. These stickers serve more of a direct improvement, and they're temporary for each encounter, such as increased damage, health, etc. There's also a skill tree that offers basic upgrades like more health, damage, and added more stickers. And you do all this in Mayday and Zook's base, which is within the sewers, and you can also feed their pet crocodile. Outside is Vinyl City, where you can explore the area. The city itself is beautiful, with each district fashioned by the boss of that area. It's wonderful to explore, and the city does change as you progress through the narrative. The issue is that it's mostly cosmetic. You can collect batteries to restart electronics to earn more fans or locate hidden collectibles and stickers, but that's really it. It's basically one straight line, and the city does look like it could have more variety, but you just go from point A to point B. You can speak to some people within the city, but these are very limited, and they're mostly one-off characters with simple dialogue. There are no optional missions to take part in, and most importantly, it's just this giant tease. It reminds me a lot of the game Remember Me, if anyone played that, where there was this large expansive world that you could see in the background, but you're only limited to a very specific section to explore, and it really feels that way with No Straight Roads. You see this large expansive city in the background, you see all these lush array environments, this district that could have housed so many different things, but you're only limited to this one rail section. It makes sense because this is made by such a small team, so I wouldn't expect something the size of Skyrim, but a little paths or maybe areas to explore, maybe put a few houses that you can go into. It just feels so empty. But overall, I did like the look of it because it has so much potential of being a bigger thing. If they decide to continue with this franchise, I would love them to expand on Vinyl City and add more areas to explore. Where No Straight Roads excels at is in its visual presentation and musical score. I absolutely love the music in this game. Every character, especially Mayday and Zook, is so incredibly animated and voiced. Every boss has distinct personas, and their music reflects themselves. Music plays a vital role throughout the game's narrative and gameplay, so they really did not skimp on the soundtrack. It's one of the best soundtracks I've heard all year. It's clear the developers wanted to go above and beyond, as the musical score reflects what is being done in the gameplay. Even your individual actions will complement the musical score that's being played, which is absolutely brilliant. I don't know how they did it, but they nailed it. Visually, the game is beautiful. Everyone is so well designed, and the animation in the cutscenes are beautiful. Yes, the bulk of the cutscenes is just simple images of the characters as their mouths move, but the actual cinematics are extremely well done, and they deserve to be complimented for that. Especially the bosses, I mean, they look incredible. For example, DJ Subatomic Supernova, who is the first boss in the game, is a collection of moving planets, stars, and other celestial objects. So is his entire arena and his district. It absolutely looks fantastic. The animation in this game is just superb, and I love the musical score. In those regards, this game just stands out so well, and I absolutely thought it was pure eye candy and ear candy. No Straight Roads is a short but brilliant adventure. It can be completed in about 5 hours, and it has little replayability. However, the quality of the adventure and the refreshing atmosphere was well worth the $40 price tag. With so many generic games releasing, it's nice to see developers taking a chance on something new. And I really hope this won't be the last time we see Mayday and Zook, as this game has incredible potential of being something much greater. I absolutely love No Straight Roads. It's one of my favorite games of 2020, and I really hope you'll give it a chance.